with us on the Sports Show, of course, Birmingham, the Commonwealth Games, mate. They were back in 28 July to August 8th. But when you win a bronze medal, got a lot of people to get through before you can work your way down to us, mate. So our next guest, Ngado Coumi, of course, bronze medal in boxing in the 81 kilos. So he's in with the heavyweights, mate. Yeah. He's not mucking around. Bronze medal around his neck. Well done, Eddie. Congratulations, mate.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mate, the journey for boxing, how did it start for you?
Started 10 years ago in an old green shed. Yeah, that brings back memories, doesn't it? The green old shed, concrete floors. Yeah, I started with my old man. I actually started boxing when I didn't actually want to box at all. I was playing soccer at the time. So I started boxing after soccer. I just wanted to do something a bit more independent. Got into boxing and became my life ever since.
Did it come naturally to you? Because that's always a question. People, oh, well, I started playing soccer, but then I had a fight, boxing. Did it feel like it was natural to you?
Felt a little bit more natural than other people would, yeah, it did.
Okay, yeah.
Felt like a lot of people always said I had talent, but always knew that talent was nothing without the work.
Yeah, without the work involved. You don't get to Commonwealth Games, mate, without the work, trust me.
Yeah. So, mate, you touched on you and your dad just briefly there. Para Hills Amateur Boxing Club, personal trainer out there, and his dad runs it. Your dad's your coach. Does it get testy from time to time with your dad coaching it?
Yeah, so
we all get testy with our coaches.
Yeah, so I got my old man. He's my coach, but I've also got another fella. His name's Jeff Cow. He's been with me from the start. He's pretty well the mastermind behind my whole career.
Yep.
He's 78 years old now.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's been by my side and he's just taught me every little detail there is to make me the fighter that I am today, even till now.
It's almost like the Rocky movie, mate, with the old wise
but my old man has been there every single fight, so what my old man does in the corner for me, Jeff won't be able to do in the corner for me.
Yes.
You know, so everyone plays their part in my team. So we all work as a team, so not one person can just make it to the end. We all need a team to make it there.
Yeah. Tell us about Birmingham, mate. Tell us about the walk. Tell us about walking out to fight, because you've got to be so focused in boxing. You might fight in front of 20 blokes at Para Hills, and all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, isn't it?
It's a bit bigger. Yeah. Now you're walking out. You're walking to the ring to fight some guy you've never fought before. Take us through that, mate. What are you thinking?
So pretty much before you go out is where the big mental battle comes in. When you're walking out, you're already dealing with the lights and the cameras in your face. You got to deal with it, but that's natural. The hard bits before, you know, the getting your mind in the right mentality that you know you're about to go out there, and you get beaten up. You know, that's the fear, isn't it?
The reality.
That's the reality. Yeah. So am I going to get beaten up or am I going to do all right? And your mind always just plays on you constantly. And I think now that I've learned to get into that fight or flight mode, and I get into that fight mode, and I turn I switch on. I say, all right, I've gloved up now. I'm ready to fight. I've accepted all the consequences, and I've done all the training I can to make me as confident as I can. Yeah. You know, the weeks and weeks of training, the mental battles, waking up every morning, you don't want to wake up, but you keep going, and it gives you the confidence, and when you walk out, your body's shaking. Your body's shaking when you go out.
But that's not through, the shake's not through what,
not
fear?
Not through the nerves.
Or nerves or anything like that.
Everyone's got some sort of fear in them when they walk out. And if they say they don't, they're lying.
Yeah, exactly.
They're definitely lying, all right?
It's more the buzz.
That's true, mate.
It's the buzz.
Yeah.
But it is true.
Can you draw a comparison between the selection trials for you in February? Because that's the most important part, really. You've got to get past the selection trials, which you did. Yep. Then you're into the ring. Are they similar in the selection trials? That anxious is probably the right... The excitement, the nerves, the buzz in that, as opposed to the actual Com Games. Are they similar?
So the exact same feeling... I feel the exact same feeling every fight. Yeah. And when you're completely prepared, that feeling will be the same. Yeah. But when you're not prepared, that feeling will be a lot different.
Okay. So it comes down to preparation.
Preparation is plays a big part in your mental battles.
So you know when you're not ready. If you're not ready, you'll know.
You know you're not ready because you know you're not confident to walk out there, and you start, you're a bit more nervous, and You know, you're thinking about, oh, am I going to get tired, or am I going to stay good in there?
Yeah.
But when you know that you've left no stone unturned, you've done everything you can possibly do, and even if you lose, you've done everything you can.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that'd be a good time to walk towards the ring thinking I haven't done the right amount of work here, because now you're in for a potential hiding, aren't you?
You're on your own and you've got no one to, you know, that's it. You've got no one to pass the ball to.
No.
You must be very proud of that, though, mate. From, say, 10 years ago, you've got yourself a bronze medal around your neck. That's a big achievement. It's a massive achievement.
It took a long time. Like, it took a long time to get where I am, but plenty of ups. Like, I've had plenty of ups. I've won Australian title in 2018, and then I went down a little bit, and then I brought myself back up. So 2022, when I did the selection trials for the Commonwealth Games, that was probably the biggest mental battle I faced myself, because I knew I had to put myself through hell, perform the best I could possibly perform, because Commonwealth Games, I didn't want to miss out again, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, you touch on it there, and you've touched on it a couple of times, the mental space that you've got in to push yourself to get to the third best heavyweight boxer in the Commonwealth. Was it a tough journey mentally for you?
Very tough.
How did you make the adjustments? You know, because we talk about that today. So all these athletes, some are mentally tough, some say they're not mentally tough. What drove you to form that toughness mentally?
I think I got a lot of it from my mum, from the stuff that she's been through, and she sort of showed me that, you know, just never give up in whatever that you're trying to do, never give up. And I know how to, when I really want something, I'll put my whole life to do it.
Yeah.
Like, if you really want to achieve something, you really got to not look at anything else. You just got to put your whole life towards that.
Yeah.
So if you take the time you started 2013, you start in, and you're weighing in at 75 kilos, so you're in a different division. Then you work your way through 2018 up to the 81 kilo. And I asked you off air what made you go, and you said you just couldn't contain the weight.
Yeah.
So you know you're coming up against bigger, stronger fighters.
Yeah.
That in itself, I would imagine, is mentally challenging.
Can be like scary at first.
Yeah.
You know, going in saying, well, I'm going to fight this big dude, you know, he might bash me, but then you start believing in your own tools and saying, well, I've got speed and he's big, but he's slow.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fast and I can move faster. So that's what I started learning towards the end of my prep for the Commonwealth Games, because you saw the photo that I fought in the final, and he was right up there, wasn't he?
Big, yeah.
Yeah, big dude,
man.
but...
Yeah. So if you look at you, it's obvious that speed is a strength, and then there's power with your speed. So you're kind of hit and move,
I'm
just
more
wearing out.
Like Muhammad Ali, just stick and move, not stick and then stay in the pocket, but I can now. I've learned to build a little bit more strength towards my game, and you know, I'm happy to stay in there and mix it with him, stand toe to toe a little bit as well.
Mate, boxing's in a pretty good spot at the minute. World boxing, not just Australian boxing. I know Australian boxing is, because we've seen a lot of great fights from some really good Australians at the moment, but world boxing has made a comeback, as far as I'm concerned. And I think it's got a lot to do with maybe UFC or whatever, but the boxing part of it now is massive. I caught up with the trilogy the other day, Triple G v Canelo Alvarez. If you want to watch a fighter, or two fighters really, I think the first one of those fights was just probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. Toughest fights I've ever seen. Who do you like there? You got
my guy?
Yeah, well, I mean they're great fights, aren't they? And they're not the only ones. You got your Floyd Mayweather, you got Terence Crawford, you got some gun heavyweights out there at the moment in boxing. It's everywhere.
Yep.
But that fight, those fights there, those Triple G versus Canelo Alvarez, wow.
They were special fights. When number 1 and number 2 happened, that was real special, you know. Third one, GGG is a little bit washed up now. He's on the way out. Canelo, he's still young. He's in his prime right now.
Is he up there in the best in the world?
Pound for pound, yeah,
no
definitely.
problem.
100%.
No, yeah, he is. He's just such an amazing fighter. Who in the Australian scene would be in his class? Not his class, but his weight division. Who would he fight from an Australian point of view?
Well,
tough one, isn't it? That one.
It is a tough one, isn't it?
Certainly not me.
In the pro scene, yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
We lost there.
What does he fight in? What is he?
I'm pretty sure he's middleweight.
He's middleweight. He's middleweight. Yeah.
Yeah, so he would fight middleweights. Well, he went to light heavyweight as well.
He did,
so
yeah, exactly.
He got me thinking, man, I'm gonna have to fight this guy one day.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm like at the moment in my career now, I'm happy to step in with anyone.
Yeah.
Earlier in my career, like probably even earlier this year, I was a little bit like that, like a little bit feared to who I can step in the ring with. But you know, I did camps. Like I went and did a camp in Ireland, did a camp in England, and then I went to Brisbane before that. Did like prior camp, and just in all these little camps, you're sparring these dudes, and then they're hitting you, and you're dropping down, and you're standing back up, and you keep fighting, and you're going rounds and rounds again, and it actually makes you into a mentally tougher person to not be afraid of whoever you step in the ring with.
Sure.
Because if you're doing that constantly, day in, day out, and at the end of it, you're still standing. So you must not be not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you show fear,
doubt.
you're gone. You show fear when you go into the ring.
Well, you've already lost the fight by
History.
then. You've already
Yeah,
lost the fight, yeah.
I've already got fear, that's why I don't go in the ring. I'm smart enough to work out I don't want to be in there, mate. Hey, I admire you, mate. Well done on your
Good on you,
bronze
mate.
Thank you
medal.
very
Bloody
much. Thank
fantastic for Australia, mate. And hopefully your career continues to soar. And
Keep an eye on you, mate.
Have you back and chat some
sure,
more.
for sure.
Well
Thank
done.
you very much.
Yep. Edgardo Coumi, our special guest, bronze medalist at the Commonwealth Games. Stay with us.